Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare.
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Radha Shivasati Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Radha Shivasati Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shivasati Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कंचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। बोलो श्री राधे गोलोकानंद भगवान की
जय
बोलो श्रीमद् भागवतम की
जय
हरे कृष्णा
Hare Krishna everyone.
कृष्णा रामानुजी हरे कृष्णा श्री प्रभु
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Okay. So yesterday we completed 22nd adhyay. Yeah. And then, we'll continue to read the 23rd chapter. And this is about how the Brahman's wives gets blessed by Lord Shri Krishna. Yeah. So that's what we'll be reading. So there are Brahmins who are doing the yajna, and then there are Brahman's wives where all the Gwal Bal goes to get some food, and how the whole thing happens, and they get blessed by Lord Shri Krishna is what we are going to read. So let's start from Shlok first, Anilji.
Shri Gopa Uchuhu Ram Ram Mahabaho Krishna Dushta Nivarhana Esha Vai Badate Chunnasta Chantim Kartu Marhataha. The cowherd voice said, O Ram, mighty armed one, O Krishna, chastier of the wicked, we are being harassed by hunger and you should do something about it. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah? So the Gwals, all the Gwal Bals, they are right there and they are saying that, they are very hungry right now and they need to eat something. Ajay?
Shri Shuk Uwach Iti Vigyapito Gopai Bhargavan Devki Sutta Bhaktaya Viprabharyaya Prasidani Dam Bravit. Sukdev Goswami said, thus entreated by the cowherd boys, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the son of Devaki, replied as follows, desiring to please certain of his devotees who were Brahman's wives. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So what Sukdev Goswami ji is saying, and Sukdev Goswami is saying it to whom?
Parikshit Maharaj.
Parikshit Maharaj, right? This whole Srimad Bhagavatam is being recited by Sukdev Goswami ji to Parikshit Maharaj. When Parikshit Maharaj only had the 7 days on this earth, and he knew that he only has 7 days, so he was listening to Srimad Bhagavatam from Sukdev Goswami ji. So what Sukdev Goswami is saying is that this katha is about, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is son of Devaki, right? Says Goper Bhagwan Devaki Sutta, yeah, son of Devaki Mata, and is saying that desiring to please certain of his devotees. This is all Bhagwan Leela, Krishna's Leela, right? In this Leela, all these devotees who have been there for so many, whatever births, they must be doing all the tapasya and everything else, right? So he's desiring to please certain of his devotees like Bhaktaya Viprabhaya, right? To do that. And devotees who are the Brahman's wives. Yeah, so that's what Sukadeva Goswami is saying, that this is the Leela of Bhagwan Krishna. Ramananji?
Prayata Deva Yajanam Brahmana Brahma Vadinaha Satram As Ang Angirasam Nama Hi Asate Swarga Kamayaha. Lord Krishna said, please go to the sacrificial arena where the group of Brahmanas learned in the Vedic injunctions are now performing the Angirasa sacrifice to gain promotion to heaven. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so see, very interesting. All the group of the Brahmins, they are doing the Havan and they are doing the Vedic injunctions, right? And what is that for? Angirasam. So the name of that Vedic injunction is called Angirasam Nama. And by doing that Angirasam, yeah, the Vedic injunctions, which is called the Angiras sacrifice, if you do that, what happens? You gain promotion to heaven. Aste Swarga Kamiya. Yeah. So to get the heaven, they are doing the Angiras sacrifice. So in our Vedas, basically what is being mentioned in our Vedas and Purans, see, even a process to get to heaven is given. Like how do you get to heaven? By doing the Angiras sacrifice. Like if you really look at all the Vedas and Purans and Upanishads, lot of Upanishads, the cure of all the diseases and of so many things is given into different uh, adhyas and different cantos, right? So that's what is pretty interesting, that it says Angirasam Nam Rasate Swarg Kamya, and this is what Lord Krishna is saying, right? He's asking all the Gwalbals to go to that sacrificial arena where they are doing this yajna, and they are doing the yajna to go to the heaven. Shiva Prabhu?
Tra gatvo danam gopa yachtas dvesarjitaha kirtyanto bhagvat aryasya mam chabhidham. When you go there, my dear cowherd boys, simply request some food. Declare to them the name of my elder brother, the Supreme Lord Balrama, and also my name, and explain that you have been sent by us. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Lord Krishna is telling all the Gwals, go to the place where the Brahmins are doing the yajna and tell them that Lord Balram and Krishna has sent them there to get some food. Ityadista Bhagavata Gatva Yachantu Te Tatha Pittajaliputa Vipranand Tadandavat Patita Bhuvi. Thus instructed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the cowherd boys went there and submitted their request. They stood before the Brahmins with palms joined in supplication and then fell flat on the ground to offer respect. Yeah. Anilji?
Ye bhumi devaha shranatu krasnasya praptanji praptanjanita bhadrambo gopatro ramachoditan. The cowherd boys said, O earthly gods, please hear us. We cowherd boys are executing the orders of Krishna, and we have been sent here by Balaram. We wish all good for you. Please acknowledge our arrival. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, see how the Gwalbal comes and they bow down to the Brahmins and say, Bhumi Devaja Swaratu. Yeah, and they're saying, of course, Krishna Sha Adesha Karina. That's why they are there. And they submit a request to get some food. Ajay?
Gashya, Gash, Charanya Yant Vivudar Vaviduram Vavidur Odanam Ramachyuto Vo Lashato Bubhu Shikto Tayurdvija Odanam Marthi Noyade Shraddha Chavo Yakshat Dharma Vittamaha. Lord Rama and Lord Achyut are tending their cows not far from here. They are hungry and want you to give them some of your food. Therefore, O Brāhmaṇas, O best of knowledge of knowers of religion, if you have faith, please give some food to them. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Who is saying this?
Balwal,
Or the Gwalbals, right? To
Yeah.
whom?
to the Brahmins.
To the Brahmins, right? So all the Gwalbals have gone to the Brahmins. And what are they doing? Brahmins are doing what there?
Sacrifice.
They are doing puja part there.
Right? They're doing the sacrifice. They're doing the yajna. What is that
Yajna,
yajna
yeah.
called?
Something.
Yeah, it's an important yajna to remember, because remember, this is yajna to go to heaven.
Mm.
Angiras, right? So they are doing the Vedic rituals of Angiras sacrifice, right? It's called Angiras. That's what they are doing. So all the Gwalbals go, they bow down, and then they are requesting that, hey, who has sent them? Lord Balram and Lord Krishna. Achyut is the Lord Krishna. They have sent them there. And if you have Shraddha chevo yachata dharma vittama, like, you know the best of knows of religion, but if you have faith, then please give some food for that, is what they are requesting. Yeah. So let's read this.
I have something to say here.
Mhm.
We are not striving for going to heaven, right? We all are striving to go directly to the Godhead. So
You are saying it's okay not to remember that name. Huh? At least you should know the name. Maybe we can help out someone else. But you are right. I think that's a great point, Ajay, right? So I think it's a great point. Like, those Brahmins are, so Vedic rituals will tell you so many things which are good for materialistic life, right? To achieve so many things in materialistic life, there's a solution for everything in Vedic, in our Vedas and Purans and all that. And that's why even Ved Vyasji was not satisfied. Like, he wasn't putting something together which can really raise the devotional service. And that's where Naradji told Ved Vyasji, like, you create this Srimad Bhagavatam, right? And the Srimad Bhagavatam is a compilation of all that, which is totally about devotion to Lord Sri Krishna. And this is the devotional service. Once you do this, then you don't need to worry about anything else. They say, like, the devotional devotees, all they want is just doing the devotional service of Lord Sri Krishna, irrespective of what form they are, irrespective of what body they have, irrespective of anything else. They just want to be surrendering to Lord Shri Krishna. And that surrendering means, what does the surrender mean? The surrender to Lord Shri Krishna means what?
भक्ति में लीन हो जाना.
Right. Basically dedicated to devotional service. Totally bhakti mein leen is actually what surrender means. And what are those various ways we can do bhakti?
9 ways.
9 different ways. Right?
Shravanam, Kirtanam, Patsevanam,
Yeah.
Vandanam, Archanam,
Right.
Sakyam, Dasham.
Satyam, Dashyam, yeah, Atmanivedanam. So those are the 9 different ways we can do the bhakti, right? And we do those devotional services. And right, so great point, Ajay. I think we got into a little bit more detail here, but that's so true. Like, that's what we are desiring here. What we are trying to do is read Srimad Bhagavatam and chant and be in the devotional service. And in Kali Yuga, it's also not possible to do those sacrifices, right? It's not easy because those sacrifices need a lot of discipline, a lot of rules and regulations and all that, which even for top Brahmins and top saints is not easy. That's where at Nemisaranya, this Srimad Bhagavatam was again recited by, do you remember whom? At Nemisaranya, who recited the Srimad Bhagavatam?
Parikshit Goswamiji.
Who?
Parikshit Goswamiji.
No. So Parikshit Maharaj was listening to Srimad
Sukhdev
Bhagavatam by
Goswami.
Sukhdev Goswamiji.
Goswamiji.
By Sukhdev Goswamiji recited to Parikshit Maharaj. But this was done at Gangatar, right? But even after that, when the Kali Yuga was about to start, all the saints gathered at Nemisaranya. There's a place in
Sud Goswami.
Sud Goswamiji, right? So at Nemisaranya, Sud Goswamiji was reciting this to all the saints who had gathered there, and all the saints were headed by Sanat Goswamiji, right? So Sanat Goswami, yeah, but yeah, that's why this is Sankari Rishi, right? But Sud Goswamiji was reciting this because Sud Goswamiji was present when Sukhdev Goswamiji was reciting this to Parikshit Maharaj. That's why Sud Goswamiji was reciting this and giving the Srimad Bhagavatam to all the Rishi Munis, because it won't be that easy to do the Havan and Vedic rituals and all that in Kali Yuga. So for Kali Yuga, this was again recited. Yeah. So coming back to this, so all the Brahmans, they go to, all the Gwalbals go to the Brahmans and asking for food, and they are telling them, hey, Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram has actually sent them there. Yeah. Did we read this?
No.
No, yeah. Go ahead, Ramanuja.
The cohort boys doubted the generosity of the Brahmanas, and thus they used the word bubhukshita, meaning that Krishna and Balaram were hungry. The boys expected the Brahmanas to know the Vedic injunction anasya suditam patram. Anyone who is hungry is a fit candidate for receiving a food in charity. But if Brahmanas would not recognize the authority of Krishna and Balaram, their title Dvija would be taken to mean merely born from two parents. Dvi means two, Ja means born, rather than twice born. When the Brahmanas did not respond to the coward boys' initial request, the boys addressed the Brahmanas with a slight trace of sarcasm as Dharma with Tamaha, O best of the knowers of religion. Hare Krishna. What does
Hare
this mean?
Krishna. Yeah. Sorry?
What does this mean? Can you kind of try to understand?
Yeah. So what this is saying, right, is that first of all, because they came and initially they requested for the food and the Brahmins did not respond to them, right, as we read in the previous shlokas. Then the Gwalbals, they did the pranam and then they are asking, hey, Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram has sent them and asking for some food. And then what they are saying is, because they are thinking, what they are saying, right, that the Brahmins, the boys expected the Brahmins to know the Vedic injunction. Because they are Brahmins and they are good in Vedic knowledge, all the Gwalbals thought that they will know the Vedic injunction. What is the Vedic injunction? Annasya Shuddhitam Patram. Basically, what they are saying is, in the Vedas, it is mentioned that, hey, anyone who is hungry is a fit candidate for receiving food in charity. Food in charity, yeah? So, boys are saying that, hey, Brahmins, you know this. And, Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram are asking for food. And then they are saying that the purport what he is saying is that if they would not recognize the authority of Lord Krishna and Balaram, like if the Brahmins don't know this, right? Now their title is Dvij. Now what is the Dvij, right? So most of the Brahmins, they have Dvij title. Why is that? Anyone knows? Why they are called Dvij? twice born. This means born
Yeah,
twice.
one is initiated, right? Like one is physically born and then other is spiritually born.
Correct, right? So this is, so what happens is, first time you are born, right? Normal birth, everyone takes. That is the first birth. But in the same life, when they do this Janevu ceremony, like a lot of Brahmins do the Janevu ceremony or they get the Diksha, that's the second birth, right? So then they are spiritually, inclined and they are called twice born, right? So all the highest level of Brahmins are called Dviz. Yeah, Dviz means they are twice born. But sarcastically, what they are saying is, if they don't even understand the authority of Krishna and Balram, and this basically just means they are born from two parents, like they are just saying with sarcasm. It's not they are twice born. Twice born is like, hey, they have got the Janevu, means they got the knowledge of the Brahmins. Yeah, you got it?
Yeah.
So what they are saying is, when the Brahmins did not respond to the cowherd boy's initial request, that's why they also call them, hey, Dharma Vittama. Like, hey, you are Gyanis, so you should know this. Yeah, the best of knowledge of religion, right? So that's what is going on. Good?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Shiva Prabhu?
Dichayah pashu samsthaya manyashch satamaha anyatra dichat syapi na nan mashan hi dushyati. Except during the interval between the initiation of the performer of a sacrifice and the actual sacrifice of the animal, O most pure Brahmanas, it is not contaminating for even the initiated to partake of food, at least in sacrifices other than the Sotramani. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Brahmins are saying basically it is okay to give the food, right? Yeah. Hare Krishna, Rinaji?
Hare Krishna. Iti te bhagavadyancha shrinvantoapi na shushravoh kshudrasha bhurikarmano balisha vridhamaninaha. The Brahmanas heard this supplication from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, yet they refused to pay heed. Indeed, they were full of petty desires and entangled in elaborate rituals. Though presuming themselves advanced in Vedic learning, they were actually inexperienced fools. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. This is what Sukdev Goswami is telling to Parikshit Maharaj. This is story of all the Brahmins, right? That even though they thought they were like, they know all these Vedas and they are advanced in Vedic learning, they actually did not. They were just so entangled in just the rituals, right? They're so entangled in rituals they didn't even realize that Lord Krishna is asking for the food, right? So that's what is being mentioned here. Yeah. Hare Krishna, Tarun.
Hare Krishna. These childish Brahmanas were full of petty desires, such as the desire to attain to material heaven, and therefore they could not recognize the golden transcendental opportunity offered them by the arrival of Krishna's personal boyfriends. Presently, throughout the world, people are madly pursuing material advancement and thus cannot hear the message of the Supreme Lord Krishna that is being broadcast through the missionary activities of the Krishna consciousness movement. Times have hardly changed, and proud materialistic priests are still prevalent on the earth. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So what it's simply saying is that we had those Brahmins at that time, and even today, no one wants to listen to the Krishna's message. Yeah, they are all about materialistic priests and all about asking different things and all that. Is what is mentioned. देशः कालः पृथक् द्रव्यं मंत्रं त्रिविजो अग्नय देवता यजमानश्च क्रतुधर्मश्च यन्मय. tam Brahma param sakshat bhagwantam adhokshajam manushya drishtya duspragya martya atmano na menire. Although the ingredients of sacrificial performance, the place, time, particular paraphernalia, mantras, rituals, priests, fires, demigods, performers, offering, and the yet unseen beneficial results are all simply aspects of his opulences. The Brahmins saw Lord Krishna as an ordinary human because of their perverted intelligence. They failed to recognize that he is the supreme absolute truth, the directly manifest personality of Godhead, whom the material senses cannot ordinarily perceive. Thus, bewildered by their false identification with the mortal body, they did not show him proper respect. Yeah. So what we are reading is how the Gwalbals were sent by Lord Sri Krishna and Lord Balram to all these Brahmins who are doing the Vedic rituals to get some food, but the Brahmins were not responding. So what is mentioned is, they could not understand the personality of Godhead. And because they are just bewildered by their false identification with the mortal body. The body is called mortal. This place is called the Mrityu place. Because everyone is going to go from here, right? See, it says here, right? It says, Martya Atmano na menire, right? So, because of that, they would not understand this. And so it says the ritualistic Brahmins could not understand why the sacrificial food should be offered to Lord Krishna, whom they considered an ordinary human being. Just as a person with rose-colored glasses sees the entire world as rose-colored, a conditioned soul with mundane vision sees even God himself as mundane, and thus loses the opportunity to go back home, back to God. Yeah? Says a conditioned soul, and who are the conditioned souls?
Is Brahmanas here?
These Brahmanas here, and all of us are actually conditioned souls, right? We are all conditioned, right? Why conditioned? Because we don't realize our soul, we forget our soul, and we think we are this body, right? As soon as the soul comes in touch with this materialistic world, those three gunas, right? What are those three gunas?
Sato, Rajo, Tamo.
Right, yeah, Satogun, Rajogun, and Tamogun. As soon as we come in touch, we get conditioned. And then we are just influenced by those gunas, and we think we are this body. And that's what is Brahmins are also thinking. And so that's what is being mentioned, that a conditioned soul with mundane vision sees even God himself as mundane. Because the God is, even though all the three gunas are manifested by the God is not influenced by those three gunas, right? So, but as a conditioned soul, we see everything like that, is what is mentioned. And once we see everything like that, we lose the opportunity to go back to the spiritual home, Godhead. Krishna. Hare Krishna, Mayur.
Hare Krishna. Sorry. Nate yadomiti prochurna neti cha parantap gopa nirasha pratyetya tathocha Krishna Ramaya. When the Brahmanas failed to reply even with a simple yes or no, or O chastiser of the enemy, Parikshit, the cowherd boys disappointed to Krishna and Rama and reported this to them. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. As all the Gwalbals, when Brahmins don't reply to them, they go back to Lord Krishna and Rama and just tell them that the Brahmins are not responding. Yeah. Anilji?
तदुपाकर्ण्य भगवान् प्रहस्य जगदीश्वरः व्याजहार पुनर्गोपान् दर्शन्ते darshayan lokirki gatim. Hearing what had happened, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Lord of the universe, simply laughed. Then he again addressed the cowherd boys, showing them the way men act in this world. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. As mentioned, Prahasya Jagadishwara, right? Lord Krishna is, of course, Jagadishwar. And Sukdev Goswami is telling this to Parikshit Maharaj, the story of the Brahmans and Brahmans' wives. So, Ajay?
Ma gyapyat patnibhyah sasang varsh magatam dasyanti kama mantram vah snigdha mayushrita dhiya. Lord Krishna said, "Tell the wives of the Brahmins that I have come here with Lord Sankarshan. They will certainly give you all the food you want, for they are the most affectionate towards me, and indeed with their intelligence reside in me alone." Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, yeah. So Lord Krishna is telling, he is here with Lord Sankarshan. Who is Lord Sankarshan?
Balram.
Lord Balram, right? Lord Balram is also, he is actually Lord Sankarshan, who got manifested himself as Lord Balram. Sankarshan Magatam, yeah, he is there with Lord Sankarshan. And he says that he knows the Brahmins' wives, right? The wives of the Brahmins, that says that they are the most affectionate toward me, and their intelligence, like they are totally surrendered and their intelligence reside in me alone, is what Lord Krishna is telling to all the Gwalbals. Ajay?
Ganvat patni shalyam drihvasinah swalangrkritaः natya dvijat sati gopa prashrita idh mabruvan. The cowherd boys then went to the house where the Brahmanas' wives were staying. Then the boys saw those chaste ladies sitting, nicely decorated with fine ornaments. Bowing down to the Brahmana ladies, the boys addressed them in all humility. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so the Brahmins are doing the sacrifice, yajna, right? What was the name again? Name of that yajna which Brahmins are doing?
Angirta.
Angiras, right?
Angirat.
Angiras. Yeah, Angiras was the name of the yajna sacrifice they were doing. And why were they doing that sacrifice?
Because they wanted to go to heaven.
Right, yeah. So all the Brahmins were doing the Angiras sacrifice to go to the heaven. That's what they were doing. And they did not listen to Lord Krishna's request to give them some food, right? So then Lord Krishna sends to their wives, like go to the wives. What this Leela is trying to show us is how the devotion to Lord Shri Krishna, the surrender to Lord Shri Krishna is much more vital than just doing the sacrifices, is what we are kind of reading right now. So the cowherd boys then goes to the to their houses, and then they are requesting. Yeah, Ramanuj.
Nama va vipra patnibhya nibato nibo tabha vasami na ita avidvave charata krishnane iha isitaha vayam. The cohort boy said, "Obeisance unto you, O wives of the learned Brahmanas, kindly hear our words. We have been sent here by Lord Krishna, who is passing by not far from here." Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, Lord Krishna is nearby. is the message which Goal Bals are telling to them. Shiva Prabhu?
Gashcharyan sa Gopaleha Saramo Durmagataha Bubhukshitasya Tasyananam Sanugasya Pradiyatam. He has come a long way with the cowherd boys and Lord Balram, tending the cows. Now he is hungry. So some food should be given for him and his companions. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So Goal Bals are then telling, of course, Gashcharyan, right? With the cowherd boys tending the cows. Gopale is here, coming from far. And Bubhukshitasya means he is hungry. So some food should be given for him and his companions. Is what they are requesting. Tarun?
Shrutvachutam upayatam nityam darshanyo sukhaha tata kathakshipita manaso babhurvur jata sambramaha. The wives of the Brahmanas were always eager to see Krishna, for their minds had been enchanted by descriptions of him. Thus, as soon as they heard that he had come, they became very excited. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, says Tad Darshano Utsuka hai. They were always excited to see Lord Shri Krishna. Reenaji?
चतुर्विधम बहुगुण मन्नामादाय भाजने अभिशस्त्रु प्रियम सर्वा समुद्रमेव nimnaga. I'm sorry. Taking along in large vessels the 4 kinds of foods, full of fine tastes and aromas, all the ladies went forth to meet their beloved, just as rivers flow toward the sea. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, see, like the Brahmins refused to give, but the wives of Brahmins, they took all the food and they went towards Lord Shri Krishna. And what Sukdev Goswami is telling Parikshit Maharaj is that's like Samudra Mil Nim Naga hai, right? Like how the rivers flow toward the sea. That's how Lord Krishna is compared with them. निषिध्यमाना है पति भी भातम भी बंधु भी सुते भगवत्यम उत्तम श्लोके दीर्घ श्रुत धृताशया यमुना उपवने अशोक नवपल्लव मंडिते विचरन्तम वृतम गोपे साग्रजम दृदुष्य स्त्रियः. Although their husbands, brothers, sons, and their relatives tried to forbid them from going, their hope of seeing Krishna, cultivated by extensive hearing of his transcendental qualities, won out. Along the river Yamuna, within a garden decorated with buds of Ashoka trees, they caught sight of him strolling along in the company of the cowherd boys and his elder brother Balram. Yeah. So, Vichrantam Vitam Gope Sagrajam Dadrishu Striya, like they were able to get his darshan. Mayur?
Shyama Hiranya Paridhim Vanamala Barha Dhatu Pravala Nata Vesham Anavratasme Vinyasta Hastam Itarane Dhunanam Abjam. Then that is Karno Palaka Kapalo Mukhbhaja Hasma. Yeah. His complexion was dark blue and his garment golden, wearing a peacock feather, colored minerals, sprigs of flower buds, and a garland of forest flowers and leaves, he was dressed just like a dramatic dancer. He rested one hand upon the shoulder of a friend and with the other twirled a lotus. Lilies graced his ears. His hair hung down over his cheeks and his lotus like face was smiling. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so what those wives of Brahmins see, and they're describing, Sukadeva Goswami is describing how Lord Krishna was looking. Right? His complexion was dark blue. Says Shamam. Yeah, Sham, his complexion was the dark blue. Hiranya Paridhim. Yeah, golden. The garments were golden. And he was wearing a one malya and bahar. That's the peacock feather. Wearing a peacock feather, colored minerals. Dhatu, yeah, says here Dhatu, Praval, and he was looking like a Nattu Vesham Anuvratam, say, like he was looking like, he was just like a dramatic dancer. And then he rested one hand upon the shoulder of a friend. Yeah. Says Anuvratam, say, unse. That's the putting a hand on his friend. And then Vinashya Hasta Mitrena Dhunan Abjamam. Yeah, Abjamam is the lotus. Like so on the other hand, yeah, so he rested one hand on the shoulder of a friend and with the other hand held a lotus. And then lilies graced his ears, Karna. Yeah, the Karna is the ears, right? Karnotpa Lalakpa. And then Kapol Mukh Abj Hasam. Hasam is smiling. So his hair hung down over his cheeks, Kapol Mukh, and his lotus-like face was smiling. That's how Lord Sri Krishna was looking when those wives of Brahmins got his darshan. Anilji?
प्रायः श्रुतप्रियात् मोदय कर्पूर कर्णपुरय यस्मिन् निमग्न मन सस्तम दाक्षिरन्ध्रे अन्तः प्रवेश सुचिरं परिरभ्य तापं प्राज्ञं यथाभिमतयो विजहुन्नरीन्द्र. O ruler of men, for a long time those Brahman ladies had heard about Krishna. Their beloved and his glories had become the constant ornaments of their ears. Indeed, their minds were always absorbed in him. Through the apertures of their eyes, they now forced him to enter within their hearts, and then they embraced him within for a long time. In this way, they finally gave up the pain of separation from him, just as sages give up the anxiety of false ego by embracing their innermost consciousness. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so what is compared is those, they finally got darshan of Lord Sri Krishna, and through the darshan for a long time, right, they gave up the pain of separation from Lord Krishna. And how it is compared is like how the sages give up the anxiety of false ego, ahankar, by embracing their innermost consciousness. Once they do the self-realization, yeah, how they give up the ahankar, that's how the Brahman's wives were able to give up the pain of separation from Lord Sri Krishna. Ajay?
Asthatha Jivakt Sarvasha Prapta Atma Didikshaya Vigya Vigyayakhir Didrishta Prahasitanana. Lord Krishna, who witnessed the thoughts of all creatures, understood how those ladies had abandoned all worldly hopes and come there simply to see him. Thus he addressed them as follows with a smile upon his face. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, what is mentioned is Lord Krishna, of course, who knows everything. He already knew what's going on, right? Atmadi Drikshya, right? And so all the ladies had abandoned all the worldly hopes and they come simply to get darshan of Lord Sri Krishna. So Lord Ramanuji?
Su agatam va mahabhagya bhagaha asyatam karavamaha kim yat na drikshaya praptaha upananam idam hi vaha. Welcome, O most fortunate ladies. Please sit down and make yourself comfortable. What can I do for you? That you have come here to see me is the most appropriate. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so Lord Krishna, of course, welcomes them. Shri Prabhu. Shri Prabhu. Rina? Can you hear me, Rina ji?
Yes, Riya.
Hmm.
I didn't know that you were calling me.
Oh.
Nanvadha mayi kurvanti kushalaha sarvarthadarshinaha ahetu vya vahitam bhakti matma priya yatha. Certainly, expert personalities who can see their own true interest render unmotivated and uninterrupted devotional service directly unto me, for I am most dear to the soul. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. And who is saying this? Who is
Krishna
speaking?
is saying to
Krishna.
ladies.
Right. Lord Krishna is saying this to all those wives of Brahmins who have come to see him. He's saying that expert personalities, yeah, who render unmotivated and uninterrupted devotional service, yeah, ahetu avakya vahitam bhakti atma priya yatha. Yeah, say they service directly unto me, for I am the one most dear to the soul. Tarun?
The Supreme Lord informed the Brahmanas' wives that not only they, but all people who recognize their true self-interest take to the spiritual process of loving service to the Lord. Lord Krishna is Atmapriya, the real object of love for everyone. Although each individual has his own taste and freedom, ultimately every living being is a spiritual spark of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus, everyone's primary loving attraction, can you scroll up, is constitutionally meant for Lord Sri Krishna. Loving service to the Lord should be ahutuki, without personal motive, and avyavahita, unobstructed by mental speculation, selfish desire, or any quirk of time and circumstance. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, what is being mentioned is that Lord Krishna is Atma Priya, means he is the real object of love for everyone. Yeah. And everyone's primary loving attraction is constitutionally meant for Lord Sri Krishna, because he is the super soul. So we are the soul, he is the super soul. We are all connected to him, and constitutionally we are situated to really please Lord Sri Krishna. And so that's where our loving service should be to the Lord Sri Krishna, is what is mentioned. Shiva Prabhu, you are there?
Yes, Prabhuji. Pran buddhi manaha swat madara patya dhanadayah yat samkarta priya asmastatah ko navaparah priyaha. It's only by contact with the self that one's vital breath, intelligence, mind, friends, body, wife, children, wealth, and so on are dear. Therefore, what object can possibly be more dear than one's own self? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. What Lord Sri Krishna is saying actually, right? That pran, buddhi, man, everything else, right? When you see and touch by contact, you like those. And so if there's something which is own self, then of course there can be nothing more priya than that, because that, and he's speaking about the soul at that time, not the body. Right? Okay, nice purport. Let's read that. Mayur?
The word yat samparkata in this verse refers to contact with the individual self and ultimately with the Supreme Self, the Lord who is the origin of the individual living being. By developing Krishna consciousness, one automatically becomes self realized, and thus one's vital strength, intelligence, mind, relatives, body, family, and wealth all become enhanced and brilliant by the central influence of Krishna consciousness. This happens because Krishna consciousness is the optimum, efficient conjunction of the individual self, who is pure consciousness, with the Supreme Self and Supreme Consciousness, Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Tatyat devyajinam patiyo vodvijataya swasatram pariyashanti yusmar bhigrah meginaha. You should thus return to the sacrificial arena, because your husbands, the learned Brahmins, are householders and need your assistance to finish their respective sacrifices. Yeah. So again, Lord Krishna is asking all the wives of the Brahmins to go back and help their husbands, because they are doing this sacrifice. And again, what is the name of that sacrifice?
Angirasa.
What's that?
Angirasa.
Angiras. Yeah.
Angiras.
Yeah, it's important to remember that name of the sacrifice, because that sacrifice is for going to
Heaven.
heaven, right? So if somebody wants to go to heaven, they need to do that sacrifice, which is called Angiras, which is given in our Vedas, right? So anyways, so Lord Sri Krishna is asking their wives to go back and help the Brahmins who are doing the sacrifice. Yeah. See here referred to Dvij Ate hai. Dvij is, we just saw that twice born. Why they are called Dvij, right? And those are the learned Brahmins. Anilji?
Shri Patnya Chu Maivam Vibhor Hati Bhavan Gaditam Rashansam Satyam Kurushva Nigamam Tav Pad Moolam Prapta Vayam Tulsidas Padavasrastam Keshairni Bodhu Matti Langhya Samasta Bandhuna. The wives of the Brahmins replied, O Almighty One, please do not speak such cruel words. Rather, you should fulfill your promise that you always reciprocate with your devotees in kind. Now that we have attained your lotus feet, we simply wish to remain here in the forest so we may carry upon our heads the garlands of tulsi leaves that fall from your lotus feet. We are ready to give up all material relationships. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so the wives of the Brahmins are actually replying to Lord Shri Krishna, do not speak such cruel words. What was the cruel words? What were the cruel words which Lord Shri Krishna spoke to them?
Go back to their husbands.
Yes.
Right? So Lord Krishna is asking them to go back, and they are saying that don't tell us all this, right? They are saying that you actually should fulfill your promise. And what is the promise of Lord Shri Krishna is, anyone who comes to me, right, always reciprocate with your devotees in kind, right? And he says, we have attained your lotus feet now. He says, Satyam Kurushva Nigmam Tav Padamulam. We have attained your lotus feet. We want to remain here, and what do we want to do? Prapta Vayam Tulsi Dam Padava system. Tulsi Dam Padva system, like Tulsi leaves, which are falling from his lotus feet. Yeah, from Padava system. What they want to do? They want to carry those heads, the garlands of Tulsi leaves that fall from your lotus feet. and we are ready to give samast bandhuna. Yeah, they are saying we are ready to give up all material relationships, is what the wives of Brahmins are saying here. Yeah. In a nice purpose. So let's read this. Ajay?
Here the Brahmana's wives are saying something similar to what the gopis say at the beginning of the Rasa dance. Bhagavat 10.29.31, when Lord Krishna tells them to go home as well. Like the verse, the gopis' statement begin with the words Maivam Vibho Rahati Bhavan Garitam Na Samsam. Nigama refers to the Vedic literature which states that one who surrenders at the lotus feet of the Lord does not return to the material world. Thus the Brahmana's wives appealed to the Lord that since they had surrendered to him, it was unfair for him to order them to return to their materialistic husbands. According to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Lord Krishna might have pointed out to Brahmana's wives, you young ladies are members of the aristocratic Brahman community, so how can you surrender at the feet of mere cowherd boy? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, one important thing to note here is the Ras dance, and the Ras dance is going to be in 10.29.31. Yeah, that's the 10th canto, 29th chapter. Yeah, what adhyaya are we reading right now?
10.
No, we are on the 10th canto.
10.25.
Yeah, 23rd, right? So we are on the 23rd adhyaya. So we are not that far from the Ras dance, which will be described of the gopis. Yes, I just wanted to point that out, right? And so to continue read, Ramanuji.
To this, the ladies might have replied, since we have already surrendered at your lotus feet, and since we desire to become your servants, we are obviously not maintaining false identification as members of the so-called Brahmanas community. You can easily ascertain this from our words. Lord Krishna might have replied, I am a coward boy, and my proper maid servant and girlfriends are the coward girls, the gopis. The wives might have answered, true, let them be so. Let them shine forth if you are embarrassed in front of your relatives to make Brahmana ladies your maidservants. We certainly don't want to embarrass you. We will not go to your village, but will rather remain in Vrindavan like presiding deities in the forest. We simply desire to perfect our lives by even a slight trace of connection with you. Thus, by the spiritual insight of Srila Vishwanta Chakravarti Thakur, we learn that the Brahmana's wife offered to remain at a distance and simply take the tulsi leaves that would fall from the lotus feet of Krishna, or or be crushed by the feet of his girlfriends when he would embrace them. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
The
Hare?
the Go ahead.
Oh.
The ladies offered to carry these tulsi leaves upon their heads, thus renouncing the desire to become Krishna's intimate girlfriends or maidservants, a position that they knew was difficult to achieve. The young Brahmanas ladies begged to remain in Vrindavan forest. If the Lord and then asked, then what will your family members say? They would have replied, We have already transcended our so-called relatives because we are seeing you, the Supreme Lord, face to face. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So again, then we'll continue to read this. I think we'll pause right now, this time, and we'll continue to see how they went back to the Brahmins and what happened after that, right? And what blessings Lord Sri Krishna gave to them. So very interesting read. And then actually after this adhyay, we have the Govardhan Parvat, right? How the Lord Sri Krishna picks up the Govardhan Parvat. So that will be in the next adhyay 24, which will pick up next week, right? And then so let's continue to hear. And Kirtan we were listening yesterday, the Radhe Govind Kirtan, right? So we'll start from where we left, 6, it's around 7 to 8 minutes more. Yeah.
निज अधम उदाहरण विरद निभादे गोविंद राधे राधे 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 गोविंद राधे ओ राधे 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 ओ राधे 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 ओ राधे 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 गोविंद राधे ओ राधे गोविंद राधे ओ राधे गोविंद राधे ओ राधे गोविंद राधे 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 ओ राधे गोविंद राधे राधे गोविंद राधे राधे गोविंद गोविंद राधे गोविंद 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 राधे राधे गोविंद 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 लाडली लाल की जय, श्रीमद् सद्गुरु सरकार की जय।
तो श्री राधे गोविंद भगवान की
Jai.
Jai.
Today is a
Yeah.
little bit of name, but very nice, blissful kirtan. Next week, of course, next Monday, again, 9 o'clock, we'll continue to read this and continue with the next Govardhan Parvat Rahasya, right? And then we know this month is the Gita Jayanti month, so we'll read Bhagavad Gita on Sunday from 10 to 1, yeah? So 10 morning, in the morning, 10 to 1, this Sunday, which is I think 15th December, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, 14th of December. Okay. It's 14th of December, Sunday, 10 to 1, yeah? So is everyone good with that?
Yeah. That's good.
Yes.
Cool. So I'll include all of you, unless if anyone is not available, just ping me. Otherwise, I'll include all of you into the rotation, and then I'll start sending that message now to all the other groups. If anyone else wants to join reading the Gita, it will be nice. I think, we have been reading it for last few years. It's really blissful to read the entire Bhagavad Gita. We just read the translation, but as you keep reading it and then you can hear it in the car later on, it's 3 hours. It's pretty nice. If you want to invite anyone else, right, your friends or anyone, just let me know, and we can add them to that group. Yeah. Any
Sure.
questions? Anything? And then we'll of course keep reading the Srimad Bhagavatam. Yeah. Mayur, you wanted to say anything?
No.
That's fine. Cool. So we'll see you on Sunday then at
Okay.
10 a.m.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
everyone.
Krishna.
Yes, Krishna. Bye.